Did you know that beneath the bustle of its streets flows a network of phantom rivers, forgotten waterways that once shaped the destiny of an entire civilization? That its subsoil is built upon a blue clay so dense and perfect that it allowed for the creation of the planet's first major underground artery. And did you know that despite its steel and glass, London is home to so many trees that, according to the United Nations definition, it is technically a forest, the largest and oldest urban jungle of the modern era. London is not just fog and monarchy, it is a palimpsest of ages, the prime meridian of time, and the indomitable pulse of an empire that refuses to fade away. Get ready, because today you will discover 50 incredible facts about London that will forever change the way you see the capital of the world. 50. The Sovereign Square Mile. The City of London, colloquially known as the Sovereign Square Mile, is a distinct geographical and administrative entity that serves as the ancient nucleus of the entire metropolis. While often confused with the sprawling expanse of Greater London, the city covers a mere 1.12 square miles. This historic enclave is a sovereign anomaly, boasting its own local government, police force, and the Lord Mayor, a tradition dating back to the 12th century. Geographically, its borders follow the original Roman wall, creating a physically small but immensely powerful footprint compared to the 32 boroughs that surround it. This square mile represents the literal heart of global finance, where medieval alleyways intersect with glass skyscrapers, preserving a unique territorial identity that has remained largely unchanged for nearly 2,000 years. 49. The metropolis that is actually a forest. According to the United Nations, London technically qualifies as a forest because trees cover more than 20% of its land area. With over 8 million trees, there is nearly one tree for every resident. This leafy infrastructure includes ancient woodlands and sprawling royal parks, making the city a surprisingly green haven that challenges the perception of a dense, concrete-filled global financial and industrial center. 48. The Subterranean River Fleet. The River Fleet is the most famous of London's subterranean waterways, flowing silently beneath the feet of commuters. Once a major shipping artery for the Romans, it eventually became a foul open sewer before being bricked over in the 19th century. Today, it still discharges into the Thames through a large iron pipe near Blackfriars Bridge, its presence only betrayed by the sound of rushing water. 47. The division of the Eastern and Western Hemispheres. The prime meridian at Greenwich stands as the world's most significant invisible boundary, serving as the official reference point for longitude 0 degrees and the foundation of Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. Geographically, this line marks the threshold where the Eastern and Western Hemispheres meet, a concept established at the 1884 International Meridian Conference to unify global navigation and timekeeping. At the Royal Observatory, visitors from across the globe participate in the ritual of standing with one foot in each hemisphere, straddling the historic brass rail. However, a fascinating geographical nuance exists. The modern GPS meridian, the IERS reference meridian, actually sits approximately 102 meters to the east of the Victorian-era line. This discrepancy is not due to a shift in the Earth's crust, but rather to the increased precision of satellite technology and gravity models, which corrected the slight astronomical errors inherent in 19th century telescopic observations. This meridian shift serves as a compelling reminder of how our geographical understanding evolves alongside the technology we use to measure our world. 46. The tidal respiration of the Thames. The River Thames is a tidal waterway, meaning its water levels rise and fall dramatically twice every day. In central London, the difference between high and low tide can be as much as 7 meters. This geographical phenomenon means the river essentially breathes, bringing in salt water from the North Sea. The tide reaches all the way up to Teddington Lock, which serves as the official boundary. 45. The peninsula known as the Isle of Dogs. The Isle of Dogs remains one of the most distinctive features of London's river geography, though its name is technically a misnomer. This vast peninsula is defined by a massive, sweeping horseshoe bend in the River Thames, which hugs the land on 3 sides. Historically, this area was a desolate, low-lying marshland prone to flooding, used primarily for grazing until the 19th century. The landscape underwent a radical geographical transformation when the West India docks were excavated across its northern neck. This man-made severance effectively turned the peninsula into an artificial island, isolating it from the mainland to facilitate secure maritime trade. This unique geographical pocket evolved from a silty marsh into the industrial heart of the British Empire's shipping trade. Today it stands as a global financial powerhouse centered around Canary Wharf, where gleaming skyscrapers rise from a foundation of ancient river mud and Victorian engineering. Before continuing, don't forget to subscribe and like to keep exploring the strange and incredible geography of our entire country. 44. The colossal expanse of Richmond Park. Richmond Park is the largest of the capital's 8 royal parks, spanning approximately 2,500 acres. It is roughly 3 times the size of New York's Central Park. Originally created by Charles I as a deer hunting park in the 17th century, its undulating landscape remains home to hundreds of deer. This vast green expanse provides essential cooling and nature for the city. 43. The protected vistas of Hampstead Heath. Hampstead Heath contains some of the highest ground in the city, with Parliament Hill offering a famous panoramic view of the skyline. Legally protected by an Act of Parliament, these views cannot be obscured by new skyscrapers, ensuring that the geographical connection between the northern heights and the urban center remains intact. This elevation was historically used for beacon fires to warn of approaching enemy invaders. 42. The missing compass points in postcodes. The London postcode system, established in 1857 by Sir Rowland Hill, contains a peculiar and often baffling geographical gap: the total absence of the NE, Northeast, and S South districts. While the compass points of North, East, West, Southwest, Southeast, Northwest, and the Central districts are all present and functional, the Northeast and South designations were unceremoniously omitted or abolished during late 19th century reclassifications. Geographically, these areas were absorbed into their neighbors, predominantly the eastern and southeastern districts, to streamline mail sorting and delivery. This historical quirk remains etched into the city's administrative DNA today. For the uninitiated navigator or tourist, searching for an address in South 1, S1 is a mathematical impossibility. That specific coordinate simply does not exist on the map of the capital. This idiosyncratic postal geography serves as a hidden relic of Victorian bureaucracy, defining how millions of Londoners identify their homes to this very day. 41. The cartographic heart at Charing Cross. The official geographical center of London is marked by a plaque behind the statue of King Charles I at Charing Cross. All road distances from the capital to other United Kingdom cities are measured from this precise point. Historically, this location was the site of the final Eleanor Cross, marking the spot where the heart of the city met the Royal District of Westminster. 40. The ancient boundary of Epping Forest. Epping Forest is a majestic ancient woodland that straddles the geographical border between northeast London and Essex. Spanning over 6,000 acres, this vast Cockney forest is a rare remnant of the massive prehistoric forests that once covered much of southeast England. Historically, it served as a prestigious royal hunting ground, though local commoners famously retained the right to graze cattle, a tradition that persists today and continues to shape the forest's unique ecology. Geographically, it functions as a massive wild green wedge that resists urban encroachment, offering old-growth beech and hornbeam trees just miles from the city's dense heart. Its rugged terrain and diverse ecosystems provide a vital sanctuary, proving that the ancient world still thrives on the very edge of the modern metropolis. 39. The steel sentinels of the Thames Barrier. The Thames Barrier is a colossal feat of engineering located at Woolwich, designed to protect the city from catastrophic North Sea storm surges. It consists of 10 massive steel gates that can be raised to block the river flow entirely. Geographically, this structure is vital because much of central London sits on a floodplain that would be underwater without this intervention to control the rising tides. 38. The hidden descent of the River Effra. The River Effra remains one of London's most enigmatic subterranean mysteries, a lost waterway that originates in the lush, elevated heights of Upper Norwood. From these southern hills, it carves a winding path through the heart of Brixton before finally surrendering to the Thames near Vauxhall Bridge. Local legend paints a romantic picture of its former glory, suggesting that Queen Elizabeth I once sailed its wide waters to visit Sir Walter Raleigh at his estate. However, the reality of the industrial era was less kind. During the mid-19th century, the Effra was entirely engulfed by Joseph Bazalgette's monumental Victorian sewer system. Today, while the river is physically confined to dark brick tunnels beneath the pavement, its geographical ghost persists. Its presence is felt through the unique topography of South London, manifesting as heavy flooding in Brixton's low-lying basins and a lingering dampness in the foundations of the buildings that sit directly above its ancient hidden descent. 37. The loftiest peak at Westerham Heights. Westerham Heights, located in the borough of Bromley, firmly on the southern edge of the capital, is the highest point in Greater London, reaching an elevation of 245 meters above sea level. It sits on the North Downs Ridge. This geographical peak is often overlooked in favor of central viewpoints, yet it provides a rural contrast to the city, marking where the urban sprawl yields. 36. The rubble pyramids of Northala Fields. Rising beside the A40 motorway in Ealing, 4 distinctive conical mounds dominate the horizon. These artificial hills were constructed from the rubble and spoil of the original Wembley Stadium when it was demolished. Geographically, they offer a unique vantage point over Western London. Standing 26 meters high, these mounds transform urban waste into a popular parkland destination, proving that the capital's geographical features can be entirely man-made. 35. The subterranean railway of the post office. Beneath the busy streets lies a hidden railway system formerly used to transport mail. Known as the Mail Rail, this narrow-gauge network stretches for 6.5 miles. Geographically, it sits deep within the stable London clay, separate from the standard tube lines. Operating for 76 years before its closure, it remains a marvel of subterranean logistics, proving that the city's geographical layers extend far beneath the 34. The protective circle of the Green Belt. Surrounding the capital is a vast regulatory landscape known as the Metropolitan Green Belt. Established in the mid-20th century, this geographical buffer zone covers over 500,000 hectares. Its primary purpose is to prevent urban sprawl and maintain the distinct identity of surrounding towns. This green ring ensures that the city cannot expand indefinitely into the countryside, creating a sharp geographical contrast between urban density and rural fields. 33. The hidden conduit of the River Tyburn. The River Tyburn is one of London's most storied, lost rivers, originating in the verdant heights of Hampstead and descending toward the Thames along a path now hidden from the naked eye. Geographically, it carves a subterranean trajectory directly beneath Buckingham Palace, where its ancient flow is meticulously managed by a network of complex Victorian engineering. Once a vital source of fresh drinking water for medieval Londoners, the river was eventually diverted and integrated into the city's vast sewer system during the 19th century. Today, though encased in brick and iron, its presence persists through subtle geographical clues, the gentle dips in the topography of Mayfair, and the curious bends in urban streets that still respect its primeval, winding course through the capital's foundations. 32. The sunken depths of Erith Marshes. While many focus on the heights of the city, the lowest geographical point is found along the marshes of Erith. This area sits at sea level and is particularly vulnerable to the movements of the tidal Thames. These wetlands serve as a vital natural floodplain, absorbing excess water during heavy rain. This low-lying terrain provides a stark geographical contrast to the skyscraper-heavy financial districts and highlights the city's delta-like nature. 31. The engineered shortcut of the Regent's Canal. The Regent's Canal is an 8-mile aquatic artery that serves as a sophisticated man-made shortcut between Paddington and the River Thames at Limehouse. Completed in 1820, this masterpiece of Regency-era engineering was designed to bypass the congested roads of central London, carving a serpentine path through the northern boroughs. A defining geographical feature is the nearly 900-meter Islington Tunnel, a subterranean passage where boatmen historically legged their barges, pushing against the walls with their feet through the darkness due to the absence of a towpath. Originally an industrial powerhouse for transporting coal and timber, the canal has transformed from a grimy waterway into a vibrant green corridor. Today, the once industrial locks and soot-stained bridges provide a scenic backdrop for a thriving community of narrowboats. It stands as a testament to adaptive urban geography, evolving from a vital highway of the Industrial Revolution into a tranquil sanctuary for modern Londoners. 30. The geographic prominence of Harrow-on-the-Hill. Harrow-on-the-Hill stands as a dramatic geographical island of elevation, rising sharply and unexpectedly from the flat, low-lying clay plains of the ancient Middlesex landscape, reaching an impressive height of over 120 meters above sea level. This prominent ridge is capped with a layer of bagshot sand, which has protected it from the erosion that leveled the surrounding areas. From its summit, the hill offers some of the most spectacular unobstructed views of the London skyline, Line, stretching from the towers of Canary Wharf to the Wembley Arch. The village at its peak maintains a winding medieval geographical layout that feels worlds away from the rigid urban grid below. Historically, this natural high point served as a vital strategic lookout for early settlers and Roman patrols. Today, its unique topography remains a defining landmark of northwest London, preserving a distinct microenvironment of steep slopes and historic charm that defies the sprawling suburban development at its feet. 29. The fertile valley of the River Leah. The River Lea forms a significant geographical boundary between the East End and the neighboring counties. Flowing through the Olympic Park, it has historically driven industrial development. This river valley is a sprawling network of marshes, canals, and reservoirs that provide a crucial ecological corridor through the dense urban fabric. Geographically, it is the second most important river in the capital, shaping the growth of eastern London for centuries. 28. The Serpentine's artificial origin in Hyde Park. The Serpentine, the shimmering heart of Hyde Park, is a brilliant masterpiece of visual deception. While its graceful flowing curves suggest a natural origin, it is actually a pioneering feat of 18th century geographical engineering commissioned by Queen Caroline in the 1730s. By damming the Westbourne Stream, one of London's now hidden rivers, engineers created the first artificial lake in England designed specifically to mimic the organic path of a winding river rather than a formal geometric pond. This 40-acre expanse serves as a vital central oasis, cooling the local microclimate while providing a recreational hub that has hosted monumental events, including the swimming marathons of the 2012 Olympic Games. It remains a profound example of how human ingenuity can elegantly reshape the city's natural geography for generations. 27. The geological foundation of London clay. The London clay is the invisible architect of the metropolis, a massive prehistoric deposit of stiff, bluish-gray sediment laid down approximately 50 million years ago during the Eocene epoch. Geographically, this bedrock spans the entire London basin, reaching depths of up to 150 meters in certain areas. Its unique consistency, remarkably stable yet soft enough to be carved with manual tools, provided the perfect medium for the construction of the world's first underground railway system. Without this specific geological formation, the labyrinthine subterranean infrastructure of tube lines, deep-level shelters, and sprawling Victorian sewers would have been an engineering impossibility. Beyond transport, this clay acts as a formidable foundation. Its ability to bear immense weight allows modern skyscrapers to pierce the skyline. This ancient, compacted mud is the silent structural bedrock that transforms the city's marshy surface into a global titan of steel and stone. 26. The 17-mile span of the New River. Despite its name, the New River is an artificial waterway completed in 1613 to bring fresh spring water into the city. Geographically, it follows a contour-hugging path from Hertfordshire down to Islington. Spanning 17 miles, this impressive feat of early engineering relied entirely on gravity to transport water over complex terrain. It remains a vital geographical component of the modern water supply system, showcasing how historical infrastructure still supports life. 25. The toxic peak of the Becton Alps. In the industrial landscape of East London, a large artificial hill known as the Becton Alps rises above the flats. This geographical landmark was created from a massive pile of waste from the former Becton Gas Works. Once used as a dry ski slope, it remains a prominent feature of the local topography. Although now landscaped and capped, it serves as a reminder of the industrial past and how geographical features can be man-made. 24. The industrial chalk streams of the Wandle. The River Wandle flows from the North Downs through southwest London to join the Thames. Geographically, it is a rare chalk stream, historically prized for its exceptionally clean water. During the Industrial Revolution, it was one of the hardest working rivers in Europe, powering 90 mills along its short course. Today, this geographical corridor has been transformed into a scenic trail, highlighting the transition from an industrial waterway to a vital urban space. 23. The Maritime Gateway of the Woolwich Ferry. The Woolwich Ferry stands as a vital maritime gateway, providing a unique geographical link between Woolwich in the south and North Woolwich to the north. Since its inauguration in 1889, this storied free service has transported millions of vehicles across the volatile tidal Thames. Geographically, it occupies a strategic threshold where the river widens dramatically, signaling the approach to the vast Thames estuary. While modern tunnels and bridges dominate the skyline further upstream, the ferry offers a rare, rhythmic connection to London's nautical heritage. As a permanent fixture of the capital's transport geography, it remains an essential alternative for travelers, ensuring the river remains a bridgeable divide rather than an impassable barrier, even amidst the city's rapid technological evolution. 22. The orbital splendor of the Capitol Ring. The Capitol Ring is a 78-mile walking route that circles the city through its inner suburbs. Geographically, it connects diverse landscapes, from historic parklands and marshes to ancient woodlands and residential streets. This orbital path provides a comprehensive geographical perspective, revealing how different neighborhoods are interconnected. It highlights the city's vastness and the variety of its terrain, proving that the capital is far more than just its central financial core. 21. The ancient remains of the Great North Wood. Great North Wood was once a vast prehistoric forest that dominated a massive geographical swathe of South London, stretching from Deptford to Croydon. Today, this once impenetrable wilderness survives only in fragmented pockets, with Sydenham Hill Wood standing as its most evocative remnant. Geographically, these wooded islands occupy a rugged ridge of clay and gravel that historically served as a critical resource, providing the essential oak timber and charcoal required to fuel the growth of the burgeoning city and its naval fleets. These surviving fragments offer a rare, sensory glimpse into the region's primeval geographical character, standing in stark atmospheric contrast to the surrounding sea of Victorian terraces and modern developments. They remain a living bridge to a time when the capital's horizon was defined by towering ancient canopies rather than steel skyscrapers, a wild, green heart beating deep within the urban sprawl. 20. The geological depression of the London Basin. London is geographically situated within a large bowl-shaped depression known as the London Basin. This geological structure consists of layers of chalk, sand, and clay that have been folded over millions of years. This basin acts as a natural reservoir, holding vast quantities of groundwater in the chalk layer beneath the city. This unique geographical shape has dictated everything from the location of the first settlements to the modern engineering of deep-water boreholes. 19. The wildlife sanctuary of the Brent Reservoir. The Brent Reservoir, commonly known as the Welsh Harp, is a large man-made lake located in northwest London. Geographically, it was created in 1835 to supply water to the Regent's Canal. It now serves as a vital site of special scientific interest, providing a unique wetland habitat for rare bird species within a dense urban area. This geographical feature demonstrates how artificial infrastructure can evolve into an essential ecological asset for the community. 18. The primeval outlier of Shooter's Hill. Shooter's Hill is a towering geographical outlier in southeast London, rising to a commanding elevation of 132 meters. This ancient high point is a geological anomaly, composed of a sturdy base of London clay capped by a protective layer of prehistoric pebble gravel that has resisted erosion for millennia. Because of its significant height, it has served as a vital strategic vantage point since the Roman era, when the legendary Watling Street was carved directly over its summit to connect London to the Kentish coast. For centuries, its peak acted as a crucial beacon hill, alerting the city to approaching threats from the Thames estuary. Today, it represents one of the few remaining fragments where the primeval, untamed landscape of the Thames Valley is still palpable. Covered by ancient woodlands, it functions as a critical green lung, filtering the city's air while guarding the eastern approaches to the modern metropolis. 17. The vanished island of Thorney. The legendary Thorney Island is a geographical ghost upon which Westminster Abbey and the Houses of Parliament now stand. Originally a small marshy island formed by the branching of the River Tyburn before it entered the Thames, it provided a dry, defensible site for early religious buildings. Over centuries of urban development, the surrounding channels were filled in or diverted, effectively merging this distinctive island into the continuous mainland of the modern Westminster riverfront. 16. The subterranean maze of the Kingsway Tram Subway. The Kingsway Tram Subway is a unique geographical feature buried beneath the streets of Holborn. Opened in 1906, it allowed trams to transition from surface level to an underground tunnel, bypassing the heavy congestion of the Central District. Geographically, it cuts through the layers of Victorian infrastructure, serving as a time capsule of early 20th century transport. Today, parts of the tunnel remain intact, illustrating the complex subterranean geography that exists just below the pavement. 15. The vertiginous depths of Hampstead Station. Hampstead Tube Station holds the record for being the deepest point on the entire London Underground network. Descending 58.5 meters below ground level, it is situated on a steep hill, which necessitates its extreme depth to maintain a level track. Geographically, this station highlights the dramatic topographical variations of the Northern Heights. Commuters using the emergency stairs must climb over 300 steps, making it a physical testament to the city's vertical geography. 14. The man-made island of Chiswick Ayot. Chiswick Ayot is a 3-acre uninhabited island that stands as a precarious sentinel in the tidal reaches of the Thames. While it appears as a wild sanctuary of dense reeds and crack willows, its geography is deeply intertwined with human history. It was once a carefully managed osier bed, where willow stems were harvested for the local basket-making industry. Today, this green sliver is a designated local nature reserve, providing a vital, muddy habitat for rare mollusks and various nesting bird species. Geographically, the island is in a state of constant retreat. It faces a persistent existential threat from the scour of the tidal Thames and the powerful wash generated by passing vessels, including those during the famous university boat race. Accessible only by foot across the silty riverbed during the lowest spring tides, it remains a fleeting, fragile piece of the city's river geography. Without active conservation efforts to reinforce its banks with timber piles and faggots of brushwood, this ancient landmark risks being reclaimed entirely by the relentless flow of the river. 13. The panoramic zenith of Primrose Hill. Primrose Hill is a grassy summit in North London that reaches 64 meters above sea level. This geographical feature is part of a protected view corridor, meaning the vista of the central skyline must remain unobstructed by tall buildings. Historically used for grazing and festivals, it now serves as a prime location for observing the city's geographical layout. The hill provides a natural amphitheater where the relationship between the green northern heights and the dense urban core is visible. 12. The industrial legacy of the River Ravensbourne. The River Ravensbourne is a vital geographical artery that rises from the pristine springs of Keston Ponds, weaving an 11-mile journey through the London boroughs of Bromley, Lewisham, and Greenwich. Historically, this river was far more than a scenic waterway. It served as a relentless engine of the Industrial Revolution, powering dozens of watermills, ranging from corn and silk production to heavy armor grinding that defined the region's early economy. Its journey culminates at Deptford Creek, a dramatic tidal confluence with the Thames, where the river's deep waters once birthed the royal dockyards, shaping Britain's maritime dominance for centuries. While once heavily engineered and confined to concrete culverts, the Ravensbourne has undergone a remarkable modern transformation. Today, large sections have been daylighted and restored to their natural meandering state, creating a lush green corridor that effectively mitigates flood risks while fostering a vibrant sanctuary for kingfishers and dragonflies. It stands as a profound testament to how urban planning can reclaim industrial relics to restore ecological harmony. 11. The cryptic significance of the London Stone. The London Stone is an ancient block of limestone currently housed in a niche on Cannon Street. Geographically, it is often cited as the symbolic center of the city of London and the point from which the Romans measured all distances in Britain. Although its exact origin remains shrouded in mystery, its survival through fires and bombings makes it a permanent geographical anchor. It represents the literal heart of the historic square mile and the city's enduring geological presence. Don't forget to subscribe and like to keep learning amazing facts about each province of our beautiful country. 10. The urban heat island phenomenon. London experiences a striking geographical phenomenon known as the urban heat island effect, transforming the metropolis into a thermal anomaly. Due to the immense density of brick, concrete, and asphalt, the city center can reach temperatures up to 10 degrees Celsius higher than the surrounding rural green belt. This dramatic gradient is driven by the absorption of solar radiation and its slow release at night, compounded by the anthropogenic heat generated by millions of vehicles, boilers, and air conditioning systems. Geographically, this creates a persistent microclimate that fundamentally alters local weather patterns, often delaying winter frosts or triggering localized summer thunderstorms. This artificial warmth even dictates the city's biodiversity, allowing exotic or Mediterranean plant species to thrive in central squares that would otherwise perish in the colder countryside. London exists as a self-sustaining thermal ecosystem, proving that the city's physical footprint directly reshapes the very atmosphere it occupies. 9. The social geography of the prevailing winds. The historical divide between the wealthy West End and the industrial East End was largely dictated by geographical wind patterns. The prevailing winds in the United Kingdom blow from the west to the east. Consequently, the smoke and smells from the city's heavy industries were blown towards the east, making the west a more desirable place to live. This simple geographical factor shaped the social and economic development of the metropolis for hundreds of years, creating distinct cultural zones. 8. The suspended river at Sloane Square. One of the most remarkable geographical sites on the London Underground is at Sloane Square Station. Here, the River Westbourne is carried across the tracks inside a massive riveted iron pipe. This engineering solution was necessary when the District Line was built in the 1860s, as the river could not be diverted. Geographically, it serves as a visible reminder that the city's ancient river network continues to flow directly through the heart of its modern infrastructure. 7. The radio pinnacle of Crystal Palace Parade. Crystal Palace Parade is one of the highest residential streets in the capital, sitting on a ridge of the North Downs. Reaching an elevation of approximately 109 meters, it is dominated by the massive television transmitter mast. Geographically, this high point provides the perfect location for broadcasting signals across the entire London basin. The area's unique topography, with its steep slopes and panoramic views, has made it a focal point for communications and recreation for decades. 6. The meandering course of the Hogsmill River. A Hogsmill River is a rare and precious chalk stream, one of only about 200 on the entire planet, that emerges from the springs of the North Downs at Ewell, winding through southwest London before its final confluence with the Thames at Kingston. Geographically, it is celebrated for its exceptionally clean, mineral-rich waters, naturally filtered through ancient subterranean chalk beds. This unique purity made it the ultimate muse for the pre-Raphaelite art movement. Notably, Sir John Everett Millais utilized its lush, overhanging banks as the literal setting for his iconic masterpiece, Ophelia. Beyond its artistic fame, the river acts as a vital ecological artery, providing a sanctuary for rare wildlife like kingfishers and water voles. It remains a tranquil geographical escape, harmonizing a rich historical legacy with a delicate, life-sustaining hydrological system. 5. The orbital boundary of the M25. The M25 motorway is often considered the unofficial geographical boundary of Greater London. Spanning 117 miles, it circles the entire metropolis, separating the urban core from the surrounding home counties. Geographically, it is one of the busiest and most significant transport corridors in Europe. While the administrative boundaries of the city occasionally drift beyond it, the motorway serves as a powerful mental and physical marker of where the capital city truly begins and ends. 4. The artificial ridgeway of the Northern Outfall Sewer. The Northern Outfall Sewer, designed by Joseph Bazalgette in the 19th century, created an artificial geographical ridge across East London. Much of the sewer is hidden within a raised embankment known as the Greenway. This man-made feature provides a flat, elevated path for walkers and cyclists, cutting through the low-lying marshlands of Newham. Geographically, it is a monumental piece of civil engineering that transformed the city's sanitation and created a unique linear park for the local community. 3. The hidden labyrinth of Pinner Chalk Mines. Beneath the tranquil suburban gardens of Pinner lies a forgotten geographical labyrinth of ancient chalk mines. These subterranean caverns were extensively excavated throughout the 19th century, primarily to extract high-quality lime used to enrich the stubborn clay soils of local Middlesex farms. Geographically, these mines penetrate the upper chalk layer, a rare geological outcrop in northwest London where the chalk rises uniquely close to the surface. The labyrinthine network consists of pillar and stall chambers, some plunging nearly 20 meters into the darkness. While the entrances are now strictly sealed for public safety, these mines represent a profound hidden layer of the city's industrial geography. They serve as a silent reminder that the ground beneath these quiet residential avenues was once a bustling, high-value resource that fueled the region's agricultural productivity long before the sprawling suburbs ever arrived. 2. The continuous path of the Thames shoreline. The Thames Path is a long-distance walking route that follows the entire length of the river through the capital. Geographically, it connects the industrial docks of the east with the leafy suburbs of the west. Spanning over 40 miles within Greater London, it provides a unique perspective on the city's relationship with its waterway. This path highlights the transition from tidal salt marshes to manicured royal embankments, offering a comprehensive geographical journey through the heart of the metropolis. 1. The tidal threshold at Teddington Lock. Teddington Lock marks the official geographical point where the River Thames ceases to be tidal. Upstream from this point, the river is a freshwater stream controlled by locks and weirs. Downstream, it is a powerful saltwater-influenced arm of the sea. This geographical boundary is crucial for navigation and flood management. It represents the final transition between the inland countryside and the maritime reaches of the city, serving as the definitive end of the river's long journey to the ocean. After discovering these unpublished geographical secrets about Londres, tell us, which one did you like the most, or which one surprised you the most? Write in the comments and let's see how many of us chose the same fact. If you think we missed something or want to add something, we'd love to know. Your comments help us improve each video, and speaking of videos, there's one more video on screen so you can continue exploring the geography of our beautiful country. But before you go, don't forget to subscribe and like so we can keep learning together. See you in the next video.